So am I audible? Hello. So good morning. So in the last class, we have seen the nature of the PDE. Okay, the nature is there are three categories. One is a parabolic type, hyperbolic type, and elliptical type. Suppose if the second order partial differential equation is of the form A dou square u by dou x square plus B dou square u by dou x into dou y plus C into dou square u by dou y square plus dux plus euy plus fu equal to some g of x comma y. The linear PDE is said to be parabolic type if b square minus 4ac equal to 0, and then if it is hyperbolic, b square minus 4ac which is greater than 0. If it is uh, elliptic, then b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Okay, these are the classification or nature of the PDE. Of course, we have seen that it depends on the domain where we are talking about. Okay, that depends on the domain. From one space or one subset to another subset, the nature will differ. Okay, and say in this unit we are going to discuss how to find out the series solution of one-dimensional wave equation and one-dimensional heat equation. Of course, in the last class we have discussed how we arrived at the equation from the physics. Suppose if you have a uniform thread, okay, or a uniform string, elastic string, okay, of length L, then it is stretched at this point, then and if you disturb any point that's on the string, then which gives some oscillation, then such a problem can be modeled as a wave equation. That is called one-dimensional wave equation. One-dimensional wave equation means we are considering a string, okay, uniform string. It has only one space variable. That is why we call this as one-dimensional wave equation. Whereas if I consider a rectangular plate or square plate or infinite plate like this, then there are two space variable. There are two space variable for such a problem. See, therefore, the modeling will be two-dimensional wave equation. Similarly, one can generalize up to n dimension, but we have some application up to the third dimension only. Okay, fine. Now, see the one-dimensional wave equation is dou square u divided by dou t square, which is equal to c square into dou square u divided by dou x square. Okay, this is one-dimensional. Is it visible, students? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. See, this is one-dimensional wave equation. Here, u is a function of x comma t. U is a function of x comma t. And then, see, the possible set of solutions of one-dimensional wave equations are this u of x comma t, which is equal to a cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x and c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. This is the first solution. And the second solution is u of x comma t, which is equal to a e to the power lambda x plus b into e to the power minus lambda x, okay, into c e to the power lambda ct plus d into e to the power minus lambda ct. And the third solution is x comma t of x comma t, which is equal to ax plus b into ct plus D. Okay, see these are the possible set of solutions of one-dimensional wave equation. Okay, fine. You consider a situation. You take a string, elastic string, and you stretch this, okay, and hold at these 2 points. That means fix at these 2 points and disturb the middle point. Disturb the middle point. In other words, you just pull that middle point of the string and leave it. Then what will happen? What will happen? Guys, what will happen? If I
Vibrates.
say it vibrates, or in other words, you just consider a string and just pull it and leave the string. Then at this point, it will oscillate like this. Am I right? It will
Yes,
oscillate
sir.
like this. In general, if I consider a string, if I disturb any point on the string, then it will oscillate. Okay, it will oscillate. Look at this first function. Look at the second function. Second function is for any time, if time goes to infinity or at any point, it gives some oscillation. So that by nature, it has some oscillatory nature. That the problem has some oscillatory nature. If I take this as a solution, nowhere we have oscillatory nature. Exponential function, I mean e to the power lambda x, if lambda is positive, then it is keep on increasing. Okay, if lambda is negative, in keep on it is decreasing. Okay, but it is not oscillating. Here also it is not oscillatory function. This is not oscillatory function. See, therefore, this will not be the suitable solution for, though it is possible set of solution, but this is not a suitable solution for such a problem. Similarly, this is ax plus b into ct plus d. If x increases, then it increases. Okay, if x decreases, then it is decreases. Similarly, here if time increases, then it is increases. Okay, when time decreases, then this is decreases, but it is not showing any oscillatory property. Okay, see, therefore, this is also not a suitable solution for such a problem. Whereas, if I consider this as a solution, as already we know that sine function and cosine function has oscillatory nature. If I draw the graph of the function, what will happen? See, it will show like this. It will show like this, okay? It has some oscillatory nature. See, therefore, the suitable solution for such a problem is A cross lambda x plus b sin lambda x into c cross lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. This is the suitable solution. Among all these three possible solutions, the first one is a suitable solution. Okay. Of course, given the derivation, how we got these three set of equations in the first previous lecture, please go through. Wait a minute. June was from the 6th June. Sorry. See, this is okay. See, I have given the derivation. How we got this set of solution for to one-dimensional wave equation by using the method of separation of variables. Please go through that um, previous video. Okay. Fine. See, this is the suitable solution for one-dimensional wave equation always. Always. Okay. Fine. See, let me discuss one problem. Yeah. A tightly stretched string problem. A tight tape. It is this thing of length L as its end has 10 has 10 has 10 and at x equals 0 and at x equals 0 and x equals 0. At time t equals 0, the string is the form, the string is in the form of x equal to ax into L minus x, ax into L minus x, and then released, And finally, what is the displacement? What is the displacement function? What is the displacement function? U of x, comma. So this is the problem. This is the physical problem. Okay. First thing is we have to convert this physical problem into mathematical problem. From the given information, they have to model this physical problem into mathematical problem. So what is the first statement? The first statement is a tightly stretched string. Okay, a tightly stretched string of length L. Okay, that is the length of the string is L. Has its ends fastened. Okay, has its ends fastened. Okay, that means it is fixed at the end points. X equal to 0 and x equal to L. The string is kept fixed. Okay, and then at x equal to 0 and x equal to L. At the time t equal to 0, the string is in the form. Kx into L minus x, where k is some fixed constant. Okay, k is some fixed constant. X into L minus x. And then released. Then find the displacement function. U of x comma t for this problem. Okay. See, there is a string of length L. It is fixed at the points x equal to 0 to x equal to 0 and x equal to L. And then initially the string in the form of kx into L minus x. Okay. See, what is the form? This form is called, what is ax square plus bx plus c? What is the name of this mathematical equation? Anybody? Ax square plus bx plus c. Anyone? Aditya, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Hello? See, this is called a parabola. Okay, parabola. The string initially in the form of parabola. Okay, see therefore, see the geometry will be like this. This is the length of the string L. This is 0 and this is L. Okay, initially the string in the form like this. And then the string is kept fixed at this point as well as this point. Okay, these two points are fixed. See, therefore, is there any displacement at those points? Do you have any displacement at those points?
No, sir. Fixed points. At fixed point, we don't have any displacement.
Yeah? Say something. I wanted to interact.
No, sir. At fixed point, there will no displacement, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
At this point, the
Note.
string is fixed. Okay, it's first standard.
Yes, sir.
And here also it is first standard. See, therefore, there is no displacement at this point. At this point. Okay, there is no displacement at this point. At this point. See, therefore, there is no displacement. If I denote u is a displacement function, then the value of the function at this point will be 0. At this point, it will be 0. Whereas here there will be some non-zero function. Non-zero function. Now, the above problem can be modeled as like this. Solution. See, this is a string problem. See, therefore, first you have to consider the string equation. It's dou square u divided by dou t square. T square into dou square u divided by dou x square. First equation. Okay. And see, at this there is no displacement. See, therefore, the first condition is u of x, u of 0 comma t, which is equal to 0. Okay. At x equal to 0, there is no displacement. This 0 represents there is no displacement at x equal to 0. And then here the second condition is u of L comma t is equal to 0. That is, this 0 represents there is no displacement at x equal to L. At x equal to L. And the third condition is initially the string is in rest position. Rest means there is no velocity. There is no velocity applied on the string. Rest, please remember, rest means velocity is 0. Velocity is 0. Therefore, what is the definition for velocity? If u is a displacement function, then the velocity is dou u by dou t. Okay. Therefore, dou u by dou t of x comma 0 is equal to 0. Dou u by dou t of x comma 0 is equal to 0. And initially the string in the parabola form. See, therefore, initial means time t equal to 0. Okay, initial means time t equal to 0. Hence, the fourth condition is u of x comma 0, which is equal to ax into L minus x. Ax into L minus x. Okay. See, this is the mathematical problem for the above statement. Okay, fine. Now, see, as we know that the suitable solution for the above problem is u of x comma t is equal to a cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus b sin lambda ct. Now I call this as equation number 1. Okay, so this is the suitable solution, but there are some arbitrary constants sitting inside this suitable solution. Okay, A, B, C, D. They are arbitrary constants. We have to determine from the boundary conditions. And lambda is also some unknown. We have to determine what is the value for lambda. Okay, fine. Now apply the condition 1 in equation number 1. Okay, what should I put? I should put x equal to 0 in equation number 1. That is u of 0 comma t, which is equal to a into cos 0, okay, plus b into sin 0. Okay, and here c cos lambda ct plus b sin lambda ct. But what is sin 0? Sin 0 is 0 and the cos 0 is 1. So therefore, this reduces to a into c cos lambda ct plus b sin lambda ct. Okay, this forgive me. This c is coming from the equation. Okay, inside this argument there is a c. This is coming from the equation, and then this is arbitrary constant. This is big C and this is small c. Okay. The c which is sitting inside this argument, which is coming from the given equation, whereas outside there is a c. This c is coming from. Of course, this is c is arbitrary constant. We have to determine. Now, but this is equal to 0. Okay, by the condition that, what is the condition? It is equal to 0. See, product of two things equal to 0. Product of two things, that is A into this expression equal to 0. Therefore, either A equal to 0 or this expression equal to 0. Either A equal to 0 or this expression equal to 0. But look at this sine function and the cosine function, they are orthogonal function. Okay, they are orthogonal. And C and D are arbitrary constant. It may have any value. It may have any value. See, therefore, this combination, arbitrary linear combination of sine and cosine never zero. Arbitrary linear combination of sine and cosine never zero. See, therefore, this expression is not equal to 0, hence our A must be 0. Our A must be 0. If A equal to 0, then our equation will reduce this to further simplified form. That is u of x comma t is equal to d sine lambda x, lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sine lambda ct. Now I call this as equation number 2. Okay, fine. Because of a equal to 0, this term gone. Then now apply the second condition. Apply the second condition in equation number 2. Equation number 2. Okay. What should I put here? I should put x equal to L. See, therefore, if I replace x equal to L, what will I get? U of L comma T, which is equal to d sine lambda L into c cos lambda ct plus d sine lambda ct. Okay, but this is equal to 0 by condition. What is the condition? U of L comma T equal to 0. See, therefore, this expression equal to 0. Okay, fine. Yeah. See, therefore, d sine lambda L into c cos lambda ct plus d sine lambda ct, that is equal to 0. Just now we have seen that the arbitrary linear combination of sine and cosine never 0. See, therefore, this is not equal to 0. It implies d into sine lambda L is equal to 0. D into sine lambda L equal to 0. Again, there are two quantities here. There are two quantities. Either b equal to 0 or sine lambda L equal to 0. Either b equal to 0 or sine lambda L equal to 0. If I assume that b equal to 0, what will happen? Here we have b into sine lambda x into this expression. See, therefore, if we assume that b equals 0, 0 into some function. 0 into some function, okay? 0 into some function, which is going to be 0 function. But we have a non-zero condition. What is the non-zero condition? U of x comma 0 is equal to ax into L minus x. This is the non-zero condition. Non-zero condition. See, therefore, we assume that b equal to 0. Implies b is not equal to 0. Why I assume that b is not equal to 0? The reason is we are having some non-zero condition. We are having this non-zero condition because of that b should not be 0. If b should not be 0, then sine lambda L must be 0. Sine lambda L must be 0. Sine lambda L must be 0 means lambda L must be some n by. Okay? Which implies lambda L must be n by. Why? Anybody? Why? Students, why lambda L must be some n by? Can you able to hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Students?
Yes, sir.
1 minute. hear me?
Sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, see, sine lambda L must be zero here. See, therefore, I have chosen lambda L equal to n pi. Why?
Sir, sin pi 0.
Sin pi is 0. Okay, sin pi is 0. Then sin 2 pi is also 0. Sin 3 pi is also 0. Therefore, in general, sin n pi equal to 0. Therefore, for all n which is greater than or equal to 1. For all n greater than or equal to 1. Okay, see, if lambda L equal to n pi, remember all these things are known. L is known, n is some number, positive number, and pi is a given irrational number. See, therefore, lambda equal to n pi by L. Okay, lambda is n pi by L. Fine. See, we have found out what is the expression for lambda. Now replace the value of lambda in your equation number 2. See, therefore, equation number 2 reduces to, that is u of x comma t, which is equal to b sine n pi x by L, and then into c cos n pi ct divided by L. I just replace lambda equal to n pi by L plus d sine n pi ct divided by L. Now I call this as equation number 3. Equation number 3. How many conditions we have applied? How many conditions we have applied so far?
2, sir.
There are two conditions applied and two conditions left. Now apply the third condition. For this, I need the derivative of the function u of x comma t. Therefore, differentiate this function with respect to t. That is dou u by dou t is equal to what? Dou u by dou t is, we are going to differentiate this partially with respect to t. Therefore, we keep this as a constant. B into sine n pi x by L, and then c into, what is the differentiation of cos n pi ct by L with respect to t? What is the differentiation? Anyone?
Sin n pi, sorry,
Hello?
minus sin n pi c.
So what is the differentiation of cos n pi ct by L? So the differentiation of cos n pi ct by L is minus sin n pi ct divided by L, okay, into n pi c divided by L, plus d into differentiation of sin n pi ct divided by L is cos n pi ct divided by L into n pi c divided by L. Okay, so this is the differentiation. Now we have to replace, after differentiating this partially with respect to t, we have to replace t equal to 0. This dou u by dou t of x comma 0. This is b into sine n by x divided by L, and then if I substitute t equal to 0 here, then c into 0 plus t into cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1, so therefore n by c divided by L. But this is equal to 0. The whole expression is equal to 0. Okay. Now, see again, the product of this and this is equal to 0. See, therefore, at least one of them must be 0. Then only it will be 0. The product will be 0. Okay. Already we assumed that b is not equal to 0, and then sin n by x by L, this is not equal to 0. It is not a non-zero function. See, if you draw the graph of the function, in the interval 0 to L, then the sine function will never cross the x-axis. Will never cross the x-axis except x equal to 0 and x equal to L. Okay, so therefore sine function is a non-zero function. Sine function is a non-zero function. See, therefore these two quantities are equal to 0. The only thing is this must be 0. Only thing is this must be 0. Of course, this will not value anything. And n is a positive integer. N is a positive integer. Pi is rational number. C is a constant. L is a constant. So therefore, this constant never be 0. The only thing is D. D sitting beside this. So therefore, D must be 0. D must be 0. Okay, we reduce further. If t equal to 0, then equation 3 reduces to u of x comma t, which is equal to b sin n pi x by L, b sin n pi x by L into c cos n by c t divided by L plus 0, because already t is 0. Okay, see that is BC into sin n pi x by L into cos n pi ct divided by L. This is true for all n. This is true for all positive n. For all positive integer n. Okay, that means if I substitute n equal to 1, this is true. If I substitute n equal to 2, this is true. If I substitute n equal to 3, then this will satisfy the equation. If I substitute n equal to 4, then this will satisfy my differential equation, and so on. Okay. Okay. There is a concept. There is a concept in mathematics. It's called superposition principle. Superposition principle. It says, suppose if f is a function which is a solution of the problem, and g is also a solution of the problem, then their linear combination is also solution for the linear problem. It's also a solution for the linear problem. See, by this principle, we can write the solution u of, therefore, the most general solution is u of x comma t, which is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity Pn into sin n pi x by L, sin n pi x by L into cos n pi ct divided by L. Okay, this is called the most general solution. It is obtained from superposition principle. Superposition principle. Okay. Fine. Now I call this as equation number 4. This is equation number 4. Okay. How many conditions applied? There are 4 conditions. Among 4, first 3 applied. The 4th one is left. Now I am going to apply the 4th condition. What is the 4th condition? Now apply the condition 4. Apply the condition 4 in equation number 4. Apply the condition 4 in equation number 4. Okay. That is, what should I put? I should put t equal to 0. That is u of x comma 0. That is the summation n equal to 1 to infinity dn into sin n pi x by L, sin n pi x by L into cos 0. Okay, cos 0. But cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. But what is u of x comma 0? U of x comma 0 is the condition which is f of x, that is kx into L minus x. That is the kx into L minus x. Kx into L minus x. Fine. Yeah. Can you identify any property which is sitting inside this last expression? Is summation L equal to 1 to infinity Pn into sin n pi x by L, sin n pi x by L is equal to some kx into L minus x. You remember what is this expression? What is this? Students, okay, forget it. See, this is sine series expansion of the function. Sine series expansion of the function. What is it? Left hand side is the sine series and the right hand side is by f of x. That is half range sine series expansion of the function kx into L minus x. Kx into L minus x. Okay. See, if this is a half range sine series expansion, then our bn is equal to 2 by L integral 0 to L and kx into L minus x into sine n by x by L. Sine n by x by L. Okay. Okay. Sine n by x by L. Yeah. Already we discussed this problem, the Fourier series chapter. So hence it is going to be 2 divided by L, and then of course k is a constant, and then by using the Bernoulli's formula, again x into L minus x, and integration of sine n by x by L is minus cos n by x divided by L divided by n by L minus differentiation of this function is L minus 2x, and integration of this function is minus sin n by x by L divided by n by L the whole square. Okay, then plus differentiation of this is going to be minus 2. Okay, and the integration of this function is minus, of course, there is a minus here. Integration of sine will become minus cos, therefore this becomes plus cos n by n by x divided by L divided by n by L the whole square, whole cube from 0 to L. Okay. So this is the integration by using the Bernoulli's formula. Okay. Now apply the upper limit. What will I get? So this is equal to 2k divided by L. If I apply the upper limit, what will I get? So if it is x equal to L, the first term will be 0. Okay. And then if I replace x equal to L, then this will be sin n times, therefore the second term is also 0. Okay. And minus 2 into, if I replace x equal to pi, which gives cos n pi, see that's minus 1 whole power n divided by n pi by L the whole cube. See therefore this gives L cube divided by n cube pi cube. This is for the upper limit minus, when I apply the lower limit, x into L minus x, therefore the first term will be 0, and the second term there is a sign term, so therefore if I replace x equal to 0, that gives 0, and here minus 2, if I replace x equal to 0 in the cos function, it gives 1, hence I will get L cube divided by n cube by cube only. So this is the integral value. Hence 2k divided by L, and what will I get here? This is minus 2 into minus 1 whole power n L cube divided by n cube by cube plus 2 L cube divided by n cube by cube. Okay, so therefore 4k divided by 4k L square divided by n cube by cube into n cube by cube into 1 minus 1 whole power n. 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n. This is the value of dn. This is the dn. Hence the The solution is the solution. The solution is, what is the solution? U of x comma t is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity. Our Pn is 4k L square divided by n cube pi cube into 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n into what is the function? We are replacing Pn by this, but the original series expansion is sine n pi x by L cos n pi ct divided by L. This is the required series solution for the above physical problem. You can verify that it has oscillating nature. And when I substitute x equal to 0, this is equal to 0. When I substitute x equal to L, this will be 0. Okay? Similarly, dou u by dou t of x comma 0, that is equal to 0. You can verify it. And see, when we substitute t equal to 0 here, this converges to the function k x into L minus x. Okay? Any doubt? Students? Any doubt in this? Any doubt? Hello? Aditya? Aditya?
Sir,
Hey, reply something. See, I
sir,
wanted to discuss.
I was drinking water, sir.
What?
I was drinking water, sir.
Okay, the others.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir. But
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, in the mathematical formulation, u of 0 comma t which is equal to 0 and u of L comma t equal to 0 and dou u by dou t equal to 0. Okay, dou u by dou t equal to 0. Dou u by dou t equal to 0 means velocity equal to 0. Okay, initial velocity equal to 0. See, therefore, such a problem is called zero velocity problem. Okay, zero velocity problem. Sometimes you will get some non-zero velocity. I'll give some situation. You consider a wire, okay, uniform wire. If current passing through this wire, automatically the inner vibration will be created. Do you agree this? Some vibration will be created. Okay, that vibration gives some displacement of the wire. Whereas I keep that wire in x-axis, that is in equilibrium position. Initially it is in equilibrium position. If current passing through this wire, it creates some vibration. This vibration generates some displacement. Okay, though it is in equilibrium position, but it creates some vibration. Due to this vibration, then displacement takes place. Okay, so that is the next problem I'm going to consider. Such a problem is called non-zero velocity problem. Okay, fine. Yeah. Second problem. same story. A tightly stretched string. A tightly stretched string with the end x equal to 0 and x equal to L is initially at rest in its equilibrium position. And if it is set vibrating giving each point a velocity lambda x into L minus x, then find the displacement. Okay, see, this is a problem. Again, so the length of the string is L. It is tightly stretched and fixed between the points, and it is fixed at the points x equal to 0 and x equal to L. It is fixed at the points x equal to 0 and x equal to L. Okay, that is a tightly stretched string with the ends x equal to 0, x equal to L, initially at rest. Okay, initially at rest in its equilibrium position. It is in equilibrium position. Okay, and then we are giving some set of vibration, internal vibration along the string. If it is set vibrating, giving each point a velocity like this, lambda x into L minus x. Okay, at any point, the velocity which is measured by this function. For example, if x equal to L by 2, if I replace x equal to L by 2 here, this gives the vibration, or it gives the amount of vibration, how much amount of vibration which is takes place at the point. If it happens, then what is the displacement function corresponding to this statement? So this is the question. Okay. Now solution. What is the solution? First we have to write down the mathematical problem for this statement. As I told you, see, this is a string problem. Okay, this gives a clue. This is a string problem. See, therefore, first you have to write down the string equation. Dou square u divided by dou t square, which is equal to c square into dou square u divided by dou x square. This is the string equation. First you have to write down the string equation. And the second one is the string is initially in equilibrium position. It is in equilibrium position and it is fixed at this point. Okay, it is fixed. Here it is fixed. Here also it is fixed. Okay, see, this is x equal to 0 and this is x equal to L. See, therefore, the first condition is u of x 0 comma t, which is equal to 0. The string is fixed at this point, so therefore there is no displacement at this point. Okay, that is why I have written this is equal to 0. And the second condition is at x equal to L, the string is fixed. See, therefore there is no displacement at this point also. Hence u of L comma t, which is equal to 0. U of L comma t, which is equal to 0. And the string is initially in equilibrium position. See, therefore It is in x-axis. Hence, initially the value of displacement along any string is going to be 0. That is the third condition. U of x comma 0, u of x comma 0, which is equal to 0. Okay, see, this is called equilibrium position at the initial time. And the fourth condition is the initial velocity profile of the string is given by lambda x into L minus x. At any point, we are giving some vibration, or we are generating some vibration, which is given by the function lambda x into L minus x. So therefore, initial vibration or initial velocity of the string is going to be, that is ut of x comma 0. This is equal to lambda x into L minus x. Lambda x into L minus x. Okay. See, this is the mathematical problem corresponding to this statement, physical statement. Okay. See, this is the first step. First, we have to identify what is the mathematical problem for the given physical statement. Then, see, this is the string problem. See, therefore, the suitable solution is a cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. That is the suitable solution. Now, the suitable solution of the above problem. The problem is u of x comma t, which is equal to a cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x. A cos lambda x into b cos lambda x. A cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. Now I call this as equation number 1. A cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. Now apply the conditions one by one in order to determine the values of the arbitrary constant and the lambda. Okay. Now apply the condition 1 in equation number 1. Apply the condition 1 in equation number 1. What will I get? If I substitute x equal to 0, that is u of 0 comma t, which is equal to a into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct, that is equal to 0. Okay. If I substitute x equal to 0, cos 0 is 1 and the sin 0, which is 0, so therefore b will not appear here, and we are replacing x equal to 0, hence we should not disturb this. But this product equal to 0 because u of 0 comma t equal to 0. Okay, u of 0 comma t equal to 0. Hence a must be 0. Hence a must be 0. If a equal to 0, then equation 1 reduces to, that is my u of x comma t, which is equal to b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. Now I call this as equation number 2. Then apply the condition 2. Apply the condition 2 in equation number 2. Then what will I get? U of L comma t, which is equal to b sin lambda L into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct, which is equal to 0. Okay. But as we have seen that this combination never 0, see therefore b sin lambda L, which is equal to 0. If b sin lambda equal to 0, then either b equal to 0 or sin lambda equal to 0. If I assume b equal to 0, then the function which is equal to 0 for all x and for all t, but we have some non-zero boundary condition or non-zero initial condition. See therefore b cannot be 0, which implies b is not equal to 0, and the sin lambda L, which is equal to 0. If sin lambda L equal to 0, then lambda L which is equal to n pi, some n pi. See, therefore, lambda equal to n pi by L. We found that lambda equal to n pi by L. Okay. Okay, now, see lambda equal to n pi by L. See, therefore, replace lambda equal to n pi by L in equation number 2. That is my u of x comma t, which is equal to b sine n pi x by L into c cos n pi ct divided by L plus d sine n pi ct divided by L. Now I call this as equation number 3. Okay, equation number 3. This is equation number 3. See, first two conditions applied. Then we have two more conditions. Now apply the third condition. Apply the third condition in equation number 3. Apply the third condition in equation number 3. See, what is the third condition? That is u of x comma 0, which is equal to 0. That means you just to substitute t equal to 0. See, therefore b sine n pi x by L into c plus d into sine 0. Okay. Okay, but this is equal to 0 because the condition says that u of x comma 0 equal to 0. So therefore this is 0. Hence BC sin n pi x by L. See, this is equal to 0. Already we assumed that b is not equal to 0 and sin n pi x by L is not equal to 0. See, therefore here c must be 0. If c equal to 0, then the equation further reduces to, that is u of x comma t, which is equal to bd sin n pi x by L into sin n pi ct divided by L. Okay. And this is true for all n which is greater than or equal to 1. Then by superposition principle, you will get the series solution summation n equal to 1 to infinity some bn into sin n pi x by L into sin n pi ct divided by L. Okay, fine. Now I call this as equation number 4. This is equation number 4. Okay, see, we applied the first three conditions. The last condition is left. Now apply the condition 4. Apply the condition 4 in the equation number 4. Apply the condition 4 in equation number 4. So for this we need the derivative of the solution, the derivative of the series solution. See, therefore ut of x comma t. What do you mean by ut? Ut means dou u by dou t. Okay, ut means dou u by dou t. Which is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn into sin n pi x by L. If I differentiate the sine function with respect to t, then I will get cos n pi ct divided by L into n pi c divided by L. Okay. Fine. See, this is a derivative. In this derivative, we should substitute t equal to 0. At t equal to 0, what we will get? That is ut of x comma 0, which is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn sin n pi x by L. Okay. And then if I substitute t equal to 0, cos 0 is 1. See, therefore this is 1 into n pi c divided by L. Okay. Now I redefine my arbitrary constant Bn as Bn dash. That is my Bn dash, which is equal to n pi c divided by L into Bn. Okay. I redefine a new constant or Bn as Bn dash, that is equal to n pi c divided by L. See, therefore what you will get? Summation n equal to 1 to infinity Bn dash into sin n pi x by L. But this function is what? When you substitute t equal to 0, ut of x comma 0, that is equal to lambda x into L minus x. See, therefore this is lambda x into L minus x. Lambda x into L minus x. Okay. Again, see this function which is expanded as a half range sine series. This function which is expanded as a half range sine series. Hence my Bn dash, which is 2 by L into integral 0 to L, and lambda x into L minus x into sin n pi x by L, sin n pi x by L into dx. Okay. Yes, please tell me what is the value of Bn dash. Just now we have seen in the previous problem. What is the Bn dash? What is the Bn dash? Bn dash is 4. Is anyone please? So this is 4 lambda L square divided by n cube pi cube. Okay, n cube pi cube, right? N cube pi cube into 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n. 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n. See, this is your B1 dash or Bn dash. Bn dash. But what is our primary aim? Our primary aim is to calculate what is Bn, because Bn is involved in our the series expansion. Okay. See, therefore we have to calculate Bn. We have to calculate the Bn. Can you please tell me what is your Bn? How will you calculate your Bn? How will you calculate your Bn? Anyone please? See, we have a relation, okay? See, Bn dash equal to n pi c divided by L into Bn. See, therefore, our Bn which is equal to what? We just cross multiply. This is L divided by n pi c into Bn dash. See, therefore, L divided by n pi c into Bn dash is this. That is 4 lambda L square divided by n cube pi cube into 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n. Okay. See that I will get here 4 lambda L cube divided by n power 4 n power 4 pi power 4 into c into 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n. Okay, so that is your bn. That is your bn, and so we have calculated what is bn. See, therefore, our u of x comma t, which is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity, summation n equal to 1 to infinity, 4 lambda L cube divided by n power 4 pi power 4 into c into 1 minus of minus 1 whole power n into sine n pi x by L into sine n pi ct divided by L. See, this is the required series solution for the above problem. Required series solution for the above problem. Okay, a small observation for zero velocity problem. The final series solution, which is in a combination of sin n pi x by L, sin n pi x by L into cos n pi ct divided by L. Whereas for non-zero velocity problem, the solution is in terms of sin n pi x by L into sin n pi ct divided by L. Okay, please remember. First of all, you should identify what is the problem. What is the problem? Whether it is a zero velocity problem or non-zero velocity problem. Then, if it is a zero velocity problem, then your final solution should be in the form of summation with a combination of sin n pi x by L into cos n pi ct divided by L. If this is a non-zero velocity problem, then the final solution should be in sin n pi x by L into sin n pi ct divided by L. Okay, see, this is some observation. Okay, see, this is a little lengthy problem. If the boundary conditions or initial conditions which are given in terms of algebraic function, okay, if it is given in terms of algebraic function, we have to do, or we have to calculate the bn's through the half range series. So no other way, we have to apply the half range sine series expansion or cosine series expansion, then try to find out the value of the arbitrary constant bn. Suppose if this is the boundary condition or initial conditions given in terms of trigonometric bounded function, then sometimes we may not apply the half range sine series expansion or half range cosine series expansion. Straight away, by comparing the left hand side and the right hand side, one can easily evaluate the arbitrary constants bn's. Okay, see, that is the next problem. Yes. See, the third problem is a slightly stretched string, a slightly stretched string with the fixed ends. With the fixed ends x equal to 0 and x equal to L, x equal to 0 and x equal to L is initially in a position given by y of x comma 0, which is equal to some constant y naught into sine q pi x divided by Sin Q pi X divided by L. Fine. If it is released, from, if it is released from this position, then find the displacement. Find the displacement function y of x comma t. Okay. Okay, what is the statement? A slightly stretched string with fixed ends x equal to 0 and x equal to L is initially in a position given by y of x comma 0, which is equal to some constant y0 into sin Q pi x by L. Okay, if it is released from this position, okay, if it is released from this position, okay, that means initially the string is in rest position, released from this position, then find the displacement function y of x comma t. This is the statement of the problem. Now, the mathematical formulation of the above statement is as follows. Solution. Dou square y divided by dou t square, which is equal to c square into dou square y divided by dou x square. Here y is a function of x comma t. Y is a function of x comma t. And the string, what is the length of the string? Length of the string is L. And then the string is fixed at the point x equal to 0 and x equal to L. See, therefore, first condition is y of 0 comma t, which is equal to 0. And the second condition is y of L comma t, which is equal to 0. The string is in rest position. See, therefore, initially the string is in the rest position, hence velocity equal to 0. That is dou y by dou t of x comma 0, which is equal to 0. And the fourth condition is y of x comma 0, which is given by y0 into sin q pi x by L. Okay, but see, there is an identity which you have studied in the lower class, sin 3a equal to 3 sin a minus 4 sin cube a. See, therefore, from this sin cube a is going to be 3 by 4 sin a minus 1 by 4 into sin 3a. If I apply this identity here, then 3 y0 by 4 into sin pi x by L minus 1 by 4 into sin 3 pi x divided by L. Okay, see, the identity is, I'll write it down here, sin 3a, which is equal to 3 sin a minus 4 sin cube a. I applied this identity to rewrite the last boundary condition or initial condition. Okay, yeah, you please do it. Please try to evaluate. The arbitrary constants a, b, c, d and b, n, everything. So what is the suitable solution? Suitable solution is y of x comma t, which is equal to a cos lambda x plus b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. Now I call this as equation number 1. Now apply apply the condition 1 equation 1 in equation number 1. That is y of 0 comma t which is equal to 0, which implies I will get a equal to 0. Okay, you please verify it. And see, therefore my y of x comma t which is equal to b sin lambda x into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. Now I call this as equation number 2. Okay. Yeah, please apply the conditions 2 and 3 and 4 and try to evaluate the other orbit constants. Okay, I'll take the 2 minutes. Yeah, tell me. So what will happen when we substitute when we apply the second condition? Now apply the second condition in equation number 2. That is y of L comma t which is equal to b sin lambda L into c cos lambda ct plus d sin lambda ct. So okay, see, therefore this is equal to 0, which implies b is not equal to 0, and this is not equal to 0, which implies lambda L which is equal to some n pi. See, therefore lambda equal to n pi by L. This is n pi by L. Okay, see, then if lambda equal to n pi by L, then the equation 2 further reduces to, that is y of x comma t which is equal to b sin n pi x divided by L into c cos n pi ct divided by L plus d sin n pi ct divided by L. Now I call this as equation number 3. Okay, fine. Now apply the condition 3 in equation number 3. Apply the condition 3 in equation number 3, then what you will get? For this we need the derivative, that is dou y by dou t which is equal to what? Dou y by dou t which is equal to b sin n pi x by L into c into minus sin n pi ct divided by L into n pi c divided by L plus d into cos n pi ct divided by L into n pi c divided by L. Okay, now you substitute t equal to 0 here. That is dou y by dou t of x comma 0, which is b into sine n pi x divided by L into see what will happen when you substitute t equal to 0. This term will be 0 because sine 0. So this is sine 0, and then this will become d into n pi c divided by L into cos 0, but cos 0 is 1. But this is equal to 0. Already we assumed that b is not equal to 0 and sine n pi x by L is not equal to 0. See, therefore d must be 0. d must be 0. If d equal to 0, then further the equation 3 reduces to y of x comma t, which is equal to bc sine n pi x by L, sine n pi x by L into cos n pi ct divided by L. Okay, see, this is true for all n greater than or equal to 1. By superposition principle, you can write this solution as summation n equal to 1 to infinity bl into sine n pi x divided by L, sine n pi x by L into cos n pi ct divided by L. This equation I got from superposition principle. This is equation number 4. Equation number 4. Okay. Now what is the fourth condition? See, the fourth condition is in the function y of x comma t, you just substitute t equal to 0. Substitute t equal to 0. See, therefore, our y of x comma 0, which is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn into sine n pi x divided by L into cos 0, that becomes 1, which is equal to 3y0 by 4 into sine pi x by L minus 1 by 4 into sine 3 pi x by L. Okay, sine 3 pi x by L. See, what is the left hand side? Left hand side is infinite series, right hand side is only just 2 function. See, therefore, the left hand side is b1 into sine pi x by L plus b2 into sine 2 pi x by L plus b3 into sine 3 pi x by L plus and so on. That is equal to 3y0 divided by 4 into sine pi x by L minus 1 by 4 into sine 1 by 4 y0. Okay, actually this is y0. 1 by 4 y0 into sine 3 pi x by L. Okay, now compare the left hand side and the right hand side. Compare the left hand side and right hand side. What you will get? b1 equal to 3y0 by 4 and b2 equal to 0 and b3 equal to minus y0 by 4 and b4 equal to 0 and b5 equal to 0 and so on. See, therefore our solution y of x comma t, which is 3y0 by 4 into sine pi x by L into cos pi ct divided by L, okay, and minus y0 by 4 into sine 3 pi x by L into cos 3 pi ct divided by L. See, this is the required solution. Okay, you see, this is much easier than the problem which are having algebraic conditions. Suppose if the problem having only a trigonometric boundary condition or a trigonometric initial conditions, see those problems which are much easier than the problem which are having algebraic functions. Okay. So, okay, any doubt? Any doubt in this? Students, any doubt? Yeah, just copy it. They will not reply anything.